Hey, good evening. If you watched my last video, you might recall that I had some conversation about antennas and about implementing some changes can be comparable to painting with an additional palette, but I re-examined the kite over here and I realized that this just was not up to snuff, so that prompted me to move those antennas rearward out here. That's not what this video is about at all, but it does segue to part of what this video is about, and that is that it left me with some extra space after I removed those antennas there. And I decided that I would put in something that I like to do on all my ships, and that is a conveyor sorter system that allows you to onboard or offload things at your discretion. And I actually had this previously in the Swordfish, which was the other ship on the screen, and I had it set up through an inset button panel, and then that would prompt these sorters here to onboard, offload stuff from the coaster, and I also had some on the exterior of the Swordfish's hull. The downside of this was that MotherOS doesn't support inset LCD panels or inset button panels, and so I actually had to store information on hollow LCDs, turn them off, and then use auto LCDs too to put information into the LCD down here, copying it from information that MotherOS put in here. So not a fun process. So hand in hand with this video right now, Agent Luke released a beta update today where inset button panels are actually supported by MotherGUI. So I immediately had to mess around with it. And I actually had some of the code already set up because I had wanted to do this before I even realized they weren't supported. So this kind of just booted up and started working at least a little bit. I had to add some stuff, I had to fix some stuff, but this is what I've got now. And yeah, okay, sensitivity's down. I basically forwent. It's not forgot. If you foregoed something, I forwent the back button and added a down and up and a select button here. And then instead of the back button, because there's obviously no fourth, I just added a home button to all of this and decided to keep it relatively simple. I don't think I'm going to add any more than this. So artificial gravity, because maybe you want to walk around on the hole instead of being dragged down or using your jetpack. Exterior working lights for the same reason. I can turn them to full illumination and you can actually see they'll pop in here a little bit. I don't love that, but you're supposed to be outside the ship when you have this on. Back to that, or I can turn them all the way off. Airlock ventilation, it's just this one, so maybe I'm standing here for a while and I'm getting dressed or whatever, and so pressurize that. I'm going to keep it on depressurize. And then door auto close. I like having simple ship integrity monitoring program light by Whiplash 141 in a lot of my airlocks, so that if I wanted to stand it, like I wanted to just get a quick idea of what repairs I'm making, I have it here. But else I don't want to stand on that, so door auto close disabled. And now I can stand out here. So then that brings us to the fact that I can now add this in here, the connector sorter status, and that's those aforementioned sorters. Right now it's actually set to deny, where there's nothing being pushed or pulled and everything's off. And then that can be set to onboard, where the one that pulls the stuff into the kite is on, and the one that offloads stuff is off. Offload is the reverse, and then neutral is on, but they're not pulling anything, so you basically have access both ways. And then back to deny access, which I keep as my default, where it's off and nothing's pulling. Oop, not that, that's not it. This is it. Okay, so here you can just see that this is actually has become a separate connector loop because I've disabled these. This would all be yellow if one of these or both of these were turned on, but as you can see, there's no other connection into the ship but this. So that's forwent. Anyway, pretty excited to continue messing around with stuff like this. I've been asking for this for a little while, and I'm excited that it's finally here. Wanted to share. Hope you all are having a good night.